Good morning, everybody. Fed day, whipsaw time in the afternoon. How do we handle this? Well, most Fed days, as we all know, whip around and the uncertainty, options getting closed out, hedges, and so on. So historically, they really don't mean a whole heck of a lot in the context of what's happening on the chart, on the daily and weekly charts. Which we know have been damaged, which puts the uptrends in uncertainty. And, at some point, the move up that we anticipated, which is taking hold, will get sold again. Prices rise up. So, idea is okay. I believe they're going to rise up. Why? Because of these market internals. Historically, they reach this level, markets are going to go up. And that doesn't mean that it would be a smooth ride. They tend to be erratic at the lows, as it always is. And you see, yesterday was what was it kind of anticipated, not so much with the tails on the top and the bottom, but an inside day is how it started, and it whipped up and down. And now you see the spiders are up here at 441, right, gapping up to the top of the range or just above it a bit. So we've got this higher high, higher low within a downtrend on the hourly chart, and prices up in areas of some resistance. Uncertainty of the Fed day. How much higher will it go? Maybe not too much this morning, or maybe a bit higher. And then, obviously everybody's going to back off. Let's see what they do. I think the real risk is a increase in rates that is beyond. If they're going to increase it tonight, the anticipation would be a quarter point, and if they go for, swing for the fences and do half a point, we could see markets come all the way back down initially and break the lows. So, and then I think they're just going to pop right back up again. That's a thought. We'll see what actually, unfolds, but you can see they're up here a bit. And so let's just take a look at where the futures are at. Clearly, this is a pattern looking at the SPX here, one in which it's down a whole bunch, it's broken the 200, it's well under the 50, the 50 is rolling over. So all of that says at some point we're going to sell the rally. At this point, it's okay, let it rally up to wherever it's going to, and then wait to see how we get a reversal or how far it actually rallies. And so SPX today, maybe it's best to stand aside. Where there's premium, it is far enough away, which is on the upside 45.85, which is up here, right up here. Will it get up there today? I think that's highly unlikely, which is all we do when we do what a credit spread is. Do you think it will go there? So that would be a monster rally today to get up there. And so they're not going to ease. That's for damn sure. So what could they possibly do that could cause the rally to do that? Do absolutely nothing again? I don't know if the markets would like that. So, with this inflation theme and all that that's going on. So I don't think it's going up there. And down below, 41.65 down here. If they raise half a point, it might go down there. It just might. So I think the thing to do is to see if it can keep going this morning. If it keeps going up there this morning, and maybe there'll be a bit more premium up here. My thinking is that the VIX drop could fuel a massive rally. The only thing that's going to fuel a massive rally is going to be a whole shitload of buying. Right? So the VIX is going to follow wherever the markets are going. I'm not saying that it's not a good piece of, market internal information to utilize during the day as confirmation to where prices are. So when we look at the VIX, we take a look at what's to the left, like everything else. Is it nearing some reference point where it's backed off from before? And as we see, that actually happened. So now as this pulls back, right, just like as the markets go, if they go up, right, and form a sell setup, this will form a buy setup. So where would this form a buy setup? Well, just looking at any chart that rallied like this, somewhere around the halfway mark, give or take. So if the markets are rallying, this will come down. So again, the idea is, as far as a credit spread goes, do you think it'll rally that far? I don't think so. That doesn't mean it's not possible. I just don't think so. Now, if the Fed comes out and surprises with a 0.5 point increase, might it go down here? I think it could go down there or close to it. Might hit 4,200 and then bounce back up again. Either way, they're both pretty far away. And so there you go. Those are the levels. We'll see which way it goes here. So big whip around, earnings, Microsoft down and not back up to the top of the range. How can it keep going? So we look at other markets as a guidance to say, hey, what if the Qs were set up to move up dramatically from here? That could fuel the spiders, right? Because a lot of the stocks that push this around are in the S&P 500, Apple, Microsoft, the FANGs, and so on. But this is setting up. You go back and listen to what the commentary was when we were looking for the turn down here. And what I said was the ideal scenario would be some type of back and forth down here for 2 or 3 days. So far, that's what's happening. Now, can it get much further up here? I don't think it'll get that much further. So the thought being, can SPX get all the way up there if this isn't moving all the way up there today? Leads me to thinking, no, it's not going to go all the way up there. We look at what, the intraday chart, the hourly, and it's just been in a whippy trading range. It's been going back and forth. So once the Fed announcement is out of the way, those internals being a buy setup or signal, this may whip around some more. And then I think it goes up to some point where the next sell setup occurs. And so back to, we have news to deal with, which is an uncertainty. And we have our charts and market internals that tell us, look for the turn here, look for the markets to move up. The markets have been damaged on multiple time frames, which will set up the next sell setup. And where it goes from there, who knows? Will it be a retest, a W type of a bottom? Will it be heading even lower? We'll have to see. Qs, well, ultimately, right? So right now, back to our internals, they're saying things should stabilize here. Qs here are at, they went up to 353-ish, right? A gap up into the top of above yesterday's bar and up to the top of this range. With a pattern like that, it says be a buyer, short term, but intermediate term, there's going to be a whole bunch of sellers up here. The thing is, as today, can it get up there today? Up this far above the 200? I don't think so. And that's just based on historical patterns and I guess a bit of common sense. Sometimes the markets don't have common sense the way we think, but we can't argue with the markets. Excuse me. That's a long way to go up. It would just, gapping up here is a good start to the day. The uncertainty of 2 o'clock, can it keep going up there today? Again, I don't think so. So ultimately, some kind of a monster move. I guess would put it up against the 200 or so, and there's a whole bunch of congestion way up here. Well, that's way up there. Um, so there's a small congestion area right there. 353, 354. Again, just like the futures up against this resistance here. So initially, it's up, a gap up from a day like this. They're probably going to be sellers at the open because of that gap. And then we see what happens. If it can go sideways for 20, 30 minutes and it takes out the highs, it goes higher. Sideways 20, 30 minutes and breaks down some kind of retest of some support level lower. We got a pivot here down at the bottom of yesterday's low. So ultimately, look, it's already taken out the high. It could easily take out the low today and not mean much of anything because the significant points are on the, a couple of days ago. And so it's up at the top of that bar and nowhere near the bottom of the bar. So the top of that bar and the bottom of that bar are your ranges for today. And they can go sideways here for 20, 30 minutes, or look, goes up. It doesn't have much to stop it. All right. Let's see what the Dow is. So, again, whipsaw kind of thing. Here we've got, resistance right there to the left. It's backing off from there a bit. Just basically trading range, erratic. I can't imagine that's going to change a whole heck of a lot, with the Fed announcement coming. Same story. Trading range, back and forth, back and forth. If it can close green like this, up near the top of the range or better, I think take long positions looking for it to go up above here. So, stop below here and see what happens. It's Bitcoin. Stabilizing. Still looks like, so this has been a decent intermarket measure as to what the equity markets are doing. And so this is bouncing up a bit. It hasn't reached its destination yet. Will it get down there? I don't know. We'll see. Again, will this close like this? It's close enough. I always look for, ultimately, I'd love it to come all the way down here into that significant area of support. There's plenty of times it doesn't get down there. So we just have to look at what is. We look at, this is where ultimately I'd like to see it go to make a bottom. But I've seen lots and times where, whether it doesn't matter what it is. It's always whatever, stock market, currency, it doesn't matter. If you have enough traders, institutions anticipating a level, they get in ahead of the level. And then as more come in and buy, right, the more that creates the thought that, hey, it's not getting down there. I better get on board too. All right. So that can fuel, turns that don't get down to ultimately where we thought they would. It's always the psychology behind the pattern. Why do certain things happen? It's always about looking to the left and saying, well, where buyers are going to be and where sellers are going to be. And then we see if it actually reaches those levels. Crude oil still bullish. The risk with this is that this pullback is so shallow that it could turn into a M top. Right? So what does that mean after a run like that? The psychology behind that pattern. It means that, are they getting too bullish? Meaning, then normally, this went sideways and had this correction bar. It broke out. This has made a bit of a momentum move, right, from here to here, but that is part of this whole move. So now they're getting a little bit too enthusiastic about that. This was the greater than 100% retracement on the weekly chart. And this is a scenario that could turn into an M top. And, the oils did great the last 2 days. So they certainly look bullish, like this can go higher. Now, even if crude oil pulls back, crude oil up at that level, right, all the way up here, still makes those energy stocks, companies quite profitable with oil at that high level. So even oil could pull back, those energy stocks can consolidate and still do well. Right? Well, unless this has a really big, nasty move to the downside, those stocks should continue to do well. And it's normal to think, and this is going up, those stocks go up. This go down, that go down. It doesn't always work that tight a correlation. And plenty of times I've seen this go up and those stocks just sit there. Well, not at this high a level. Right. Silver, right, pulling back. This is what I call a normal kind of a pullback after a move up like that. So whether, we were looking at VIX before, how much would it pull back? Right, we said about halfway. So this is a nice run up. It's pulling back somewhere in here is where it should make a turn. Yeah, well, because it's been erratic, Steve. Steve's saying it's always pulling back because it just has not made a significant turn yet where it's a momentum move. You can see it's in the weekly chart down here coming off here. So at some point, if it was to really start to rally like here where it breaks out, well, no more pullbacks. And so the question becomes, can it really start moving? And the Fed announcement is going to affect this today. Yeah. Gold, we talked about this pattern looking bullish and, I guess uncertainty of Fed, what they're going to do, just, erratic here. Look here, pulling back, dollar going up, makes sense. Anticipating that interest rates are going to go higher. You see that the 3-month, the move it's made, that's telling you that the markets believe they're going to raise interest rates. And so, we've talked about how the 5 years moved up, so aggressively and so on. Of course, lastly, transports, same pullback and whippy price action. So I don't think it's time just yet to go all in if you've put on some smaller position waiting for this Fed announcement to get out of the way. That's all good. I think ultimately it'll work its way up to some better level where sellers will want to step up. All yours, Dan.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we've been talking about this turn. Looks like we got it. I said yesterday, if we didn't have the Fed today, I would have gone all in for a directional on the 15-minute breakout yesterday here. I sent a text alert to subscribers, and then we would have sat through a little pullback there in the afternoon, but now we would have a huge, nice open game if we did that. And it was just FOMC. We did give a number of trades in the oils, financials, even gave UAL, turn on major support. Boeing, I like today, gapping up, getting sloppy here, but same kind of thing. And it's earning. There's a bunch of earnings here. Let's go through them. Hey, I see Nike up. Nike gapping over yesterday's high. That's put spread I do. So all our opens are fine. We don't have a single short bias trade open. Everything's stock or option bullish. All right, dunking here. It's not earnings, but I saw the gap and, Climactic, that could be a put spread. Yesterday, I mentioned the cruise ships. I mentioned the cruise ships in the morning when they negated their small little gap down after multiple bars down. We'll come back, keep an eye on those. Here's a bunch of earnings now. Can't tell where it's gapping, but big retracement at the 200 will come back. TEL looks like it's pretty flat. It's at the 200, but I got a lot here, so that's not a tier one, so I'm just going to delete you. Here's a 1, 2, 3. I can't tell where it's gapping, but that's a nice 1, 2, 3. Talking about 1, 2, 3s. Oh, Greg, we're going to have to tell you later. You were out about our two new Michael Jackson setups. FL Florida, we got into yesterday. That was a 1, 2, 3. DDS is still posted. That's a beautiful 1, 2, 3. AGYS, Climo, you know, and we talked about this a lot in the green room. You got Climos where you just want to do a trade and ride the elevator back up for a partial retracement. And then we have some that are deep retracements to either the 50 or the 200 that are still in a longer term uptrend. So those are the ones I prefer, because then you're trading obviously with a longer term trend. This is a big old mess, Anton. I can't tell where you're gapping, deleting you. R&R, it's a mess, made a lower low. This one, you know, last week we had the MT live on the turn, TURN, and that was that. So here's an example of a pullback to the 50, and it made the turn on minor support, the breakout area. So it still looks higher, slight volume though I don't like. Today's MT live is on continuation patterns. So here's a Climo that broke its uptrend on daily, weekly, monthly. So this would just be riding elevator back up. It's gapping down. I would have no interest unless it took out yesterday's high. So I'm going to delete you. Cade, here's a perfect example of a pullback again to the 50 and minor support. So I like this one better. Trading with the longer term trend. Well, actually short, medium, and long. Look, all three MAs are up. The only thing that would make this better is if the retracement was from a V Victor top instead of that rounded top. That's going into a thumbnail on my other computer. That looks good. Good. I saw the news. They had to tell the SEC that, oh, don't worry, we have plenty of capital, or I don't know, maybe they had to tell their subscribers. I don't know. I saw some to their clients. I saw some press release. I sent it to Greg, and Greg said that Greg says, well, that's a precursor to, yeah, there are cockroaches under the hood. Maybe that's how they got their symbol, Greg, hood. It's cockroaches under the hood.
It sure seems that way with that statement you showed me this morning.
I know, when you got to talk about your capital. Oh, my capital's fine, don't worry. Yeah, right. So this had a nice reversal. This could be a put spread candidate. Cough had earnings gapping down a little bit, but you know, there's a lot of put spread candidates. Martin, big gap, 17 bucks. Had it not been gapping over all this mess, I would have deleted it because I don't like the way it trades, all these overlapping bars. But that would be a put spread over 15-minute high. This is a big mess. CNI is a railroad, LRN, big. Well, this is showing a big gap of $1.90, but I don't see anything here pre-market. But let's say hypothetically it was gapping there to 29. Riding the elevator back up, but I would wait for an intraday pullback. Hawaiian Airlines gapping up. Nice major support here. So this I'll watch as a put spread candidate. And I like put spread candidates, particularly on earnings, because even though earnings are released, volatility doesn't just evaporate. It's still higher than it was, but for the earnings, particularly in the first hour. NSC, I can't tell where you're gapping, but this could be a put spread. Reversal on the 200, major support weekly. So that's not bad at all. Trade's very sloppy, no volume, you're going. OSK, it made the turn on the 50 put spread idea. Exceeded the moving averages, but still made the turn. It's a 1, 2, 3, and it's gapping up a little bit. Another bank, 30-minute high. That's not bad. Corning, wow, big gap. Wow. That's gapping over all of this. Gap's way too big for me. FCX was positive this morning. Look at that, it was 41. 30-minute high, put spread idea, we'll come back to you. ADP, wow, that got whacked. That used to be a Wall Street favorite. Look at that, breakout failure. And it's gapping down. Oh, that looks lower, that looks bad. Greg, remember Abbott? We were trying to watch it over here, but it had earnings. That's an ugly gap lower. RES 624. Now, folks, just for refresher, bottom left daily, to the right weekly, and up here in the middle, tiny one is monthly. And I purposely, because I only have a small screen here that I show you the green room. But look, I have zero interest in the daily gapping up. But what is interesting to me is now the bear sandwich on the weekly and the breakout on the monthly. So do you see how the multiple time frames now have me interested on a pullback? So that looks great. I put that in a window. This could be a core trade at $10. So that I have in a window. Looks great. NASDAQ, Climo earnings, 30-minute high, put spread under these lows. 168. DDS alarm. Jacopos, that's going to Sienna. Sienna, waiting for symbol. Wow, tick 1255 I'm showing here. Sienna 30-minute high. Yeah, I actually, we were short this Jacopo. And I actually said in one of the nightly videos, keep this on your list to watch for the turn. And we could be getting that. So yeah, I'll put that on the list. Yeah. All right, DDS alarm. Come on, charts. I'll check my other. Actually, TradeStation is acting up on both computers. My other computer is hardwired with huge speed, and I can't get data here either. So I might have to switch, Greg, to telecharts, but then I lose my my watch list here. All right, DDS. And Greg, will you look at DDS? I don't even see a print over the highs here, but my alarm went off. Yeah, I got major data problems here on both computers.
It hasn't taken out the high.
Okay, well then I must have had it early.
It's got a, I don't even see it trading. I don't know if,
Why no? That's what I'm saying too.
and it's got a, well, it's.
I'm showing.
moving. It's got a 6.5 point spread, so don't go near it.
Oh, well, yeah, see, that's why my alarm went off, because I'm showing a print at 274, spot 26. So that's why my alarm went off. All right, we'll just ignore it for now. NDAC bottom right's coming in hard. Navi, Fernando, tell me what you're thinking, because I have actually no idea, honestly. So tell me what you're thinking, and then I can give you a better answer. All right. No, it's way, all right, so 5-minute high on WFC is a go. Hey, Fernando, and so, yeah, you got to tell me short, and you also got to tell me time frame. It is a cell setup if you're looking